I get the same feeling, so I'm coming day and night.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
She's already contaminated by this odd substance.
Jesus wept.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Okay. All right. We are back. And we are having a good old time. That's what we're doing. Hey, guys. So this is going to be a weird one because I had a... Well, I was... Where to even start? My dear, dear son is in the living room playing Astrobot. He had to come home from school early today, so this will probably be interrupted. So I apologize for that in advance. And we are going to try and get through days 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's my big goal. I don't think we'll get through 7. Sorry. But we're going to do a speed run through these days. And so this should be a little bit more exciting than the previous 2 episodes of this series because we are just going to try to fucking go. Mike, I'm so glad that you're ready to go because we're going to go, man. We're going to go. All right. So I'm not going to go through every little page as usual. This one, day 4, is about the hero's want and the title. So this one is pretty easy enough to get through. Let's go ahead and let's see. Write down your working title. Does it tell us what the movie is about? Is it evocative? Does it capture the tone? Remember, this is just a working title. It can change. Probably will. It's Drink of the Damned. Done. Easy. So 2A. Let's see. As your protagonist, write for 5 minutes, beginning with, every time I think I'm going to get what I want. I don't know why I didn't start typing. Every time I think I'm going... All right, let me get through day 4, and then we'll go to thoughts from the comments, okay? Although feel free to type them up and send them in. I will pop those on the screen as soon as I'm done with speedrunning day 4. Let's see. Every time I think I'm going to get what I want, it seems that everything falls apart. To be, I need to be forgiven for wasting money. To see, the most vivid memory of my childhood. Ooh, this is tough. I don't know. The most vivid memory of my childhood. So this, okay, we have to remember that Josh Wakefield is gay and loves cinema. I can relate to one of those things. Hey, buddy, what's up?
After you do this, I'll get enough of balls so I can do the snake battle. Okay.
Oh, you want to? You're almost at the snake battle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will do that as soon as I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, but who is that guy next to Godzilla?
Who is that guy next to Godzilla?
Yeah.
That's Gamera.
Who's Gamera? That turtle?
You've seen, yeah, Gamera's the turtle. You know Gamera.
Yeah, but I never want to watch this ever again.
Okay, buddy, can you go back in the living room and and do your Astrobot?
Yes, so.
Okay, thank you. Good man. All right. So the most vivid memory of my childhood. Most vivid memory of my childhood. This is again our protagonist, Josh Wakefield. Okay, he is a gay filmmaker. So if our character is a gay filmmaker, what would be his childhood, his most vivid memory of his childhood? Getting my first camera for Christmas. That's kind of similar. I have a very vivid memory of receiving my first stills camera for Christmas. So I could see this being a similar thing where his parents give him a camera for Christmas. Let's see and we're just going to say that he's my age. So if he's 34, 35-ish, in his 30s, then his first camera would probably be a DV camera. Mini DV camera, which I thought was the coolest thing in the world. Yeah, and he would go, and that I would say maybe he even would go on to make his first movie on. Ooh, actually, you know what? With that camera, I made my first movies, which are collectively some of my most vivid memories. There we go. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so that is day 4. Speed run. Boom. Done. I could have every time I could do more with 2A, I guess, but I don't really have anything off the top of my head. And that's kind of what we're going with for speed running. Day 5 is about protagonists and antagonists. This is an interesting one. In Rocky, the protagonist wants to be worthy of Adrian's love. Adrian is an antagonist because she prompts him to grow. In the beginning, she is shy and refuses his advances, forcing him to reclaim himself. When they begin to date, she admonishes him for calling himself a bum. It is through the power of her love that he lets go of his old life as a flunky for the mob and becomes willing to live up to his full potential as a fighter. Growth is painful. Our antagonists are the instigators of this growth. I think that's so interesting to point that out. Protagonist arc, since the desire to write typically involves the quest to resolve something within ourselves, it is often challenging to imagine a true transformation for our protagonist. This is because without a shift in perception, the best we can ever hope for is a standoff, a compromise, second best. The challenge in writing a story with a compelling ending lies in the ability to resolve the dilemma by seeing the problem in a different way. Let's see here. So let's see here. In Knocked Up, Seth Rogen's character goes from irresponsible boy to responsible adult. In Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson's character goes from suicidal loner to becoming a man who embraces life and friendship. Lars, I don't know if I've never seen Lars and the Real Girl. I just realized that's probably something I should get to. The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy goes from wanting to escape somewhere over the rainbow to learning that there is no place like home. Each arc leads the character to a shift in perception, thus resolving their dilemma. And of course, for Alan Watt, dilemma is the root of story. Writing exercises for the day. Is it just 3? It's just 3, okay. So, for 5 minutes, imagine your protagonist transformed at the end of the story. How is he relating differently to other characters? Okay, let's create day 5. By the way, I'm happy to hear ideas from chat if y'all have anything. All right, so 1. For 5 minutes, imagine your protagonist transformed at the end of the story. How is he relating differently to other characters? What has he come to understand at the end that he did not understand at the beginning? Let's see. For 5 minutes, imagine how is he? What has he come to understand at the end that he did not understand at the beginning? All right, so let's just at the... Ooh, Jake has some thoughts. Let's see. I think the most interesting thing you've got going is that your protagonist and killer basically want the same thing for the same reasons, just their methods differ. The actor isn't reliable, the actor can't act, this location's owner is extorting the production, etc. So it's mostly about morality. Oh, that is interesting, Jake. That is very interesting. So they're both going at the same Oh, wow. Let's just start. We'll start a notes section. All right. So both protagonist and antagonist want the same thing for the production to continue, go smoothly, and finish. Also, that's important. That's a good point as well, that his internal struggle is confidence. So we'll just make that a little note as well. Struggle is over confidence. Which means at the start of the script, the protagonist, or Josh, must lose, or at least not have, confidence in himself. Okay. So that means that at the end of the story, Josh has regained his confidence and sees other characters as assets rather than sorry, 1 second. What is it, buddy? Oliver, what's up? Okay. Let's see here. Unbeknownst to Josh, his work lifts those around him in and around the bar. As the bartender kills for him, he can finish the film for one confidence boost. Do you mean that the bartenders... Oliver, what's wrong? 1 second. Keep typing. Praise be to video games. Bloop, 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 bloop. I wonder, okay, so... okay, at the end, the bartender has to die, obviously. Oh my God. I'm not going to, I like where you're going. I like, he tells him that he reveals that he was killing to help him the whole time. I like that. And how he tells him how much it means to the community. I think that's great. I wouldn't want to frame the shitty producer because I feel like that destroys the morality of the character. I feel like Josh, at the end of the day, should be pretty moral and should want to be moral, which part of that is like the wasting of the money and everything is an immoral act. And by the end of it, he has to find his morality, which is linked to his confidence. Let's see here. How is he relating differently to other characters? To gain his confidence, sees other characters as assets rather than not only as I guess he would see them as more than just as and sees other characters as not tools. That's also a little off. As important team members, who even in their worst moments provide him with ways of lifting himself up. There's better ways of putting this, but this is another thing to keep in mind as if you're doing if you're also going through this book like I am. When you write this stuff, it doesn't have to be perfect and doesn't have to sound great. It just has to get you through your thought process. Because, again, I'm the exception to the rule here. In general, you are not sharing this with people. This is stuff that's just for you. And since it's just for you, it's okay if it's not written particularly well, which I need to keep that in mind myself because I do want this to be written well. But that want is antithetical to the actual process. Maybe his morality is protecting the community that has lifted him up. That's a good idea. I feel like he definitely needs. I'll just write this in my notes. Josh needs to meet at least one fan who is not a psychotic murderer. That's important. He also, I thought about this last night. Josh needs a best friend character. He's a best friend character. Where was I going with this? Specifically one who is working on the production with him. So he needs someone to keep him grounded. Although that could also be his boyfriend. Because I keep forgetting that Mickey is the actor who plays the lead in the movie within the movie. That's not his character. I don't have a character name for him yet, but we'll get to that. But he maybe his rock, so to speak, could be the lead actor. That's something we'll have to think about. Now write down in one sentence your protagonist's arc. How has he changed from the beginning to the end? Be specific. Okay. So Josh goes from the core is he goes from lacking confidence in himself to having confidence, which is not very good. That's terrible. So he does go from lacking confidence in himself to having confidence. That's important. Let's try another sentence. He goes from I mean, he doesn't go from being immoral, I suppose. He still has morals. He just made a mistake. I feel like I might be juggling too much, but I also realize that this is stuff that gets refined over time. So he goes from blaming those around him and relying on failure, or not relying on failure, falling back on failure. Yeah, because that's okay. So he's blaming others. It's the producer's fault, or it's the actor's not showing up. It's this, it's that. But he has to realize that those are all external forces that he just has to overcome as part of his dream, as part of his job, is overcoming these issues because they are inherent issues. So he accepts responsibility. And growing up. Maybe it is sort of like a knocked up type thing where he goes from immaturity to maturity. I realize this is more than one sentence, but that's fine. I don't really care. Yeah, there's several, there's like a lot of ways we could take this, and I'm not sure what the best singular route is. I don't even know that we necessarily need it to be a singular route, because I suppose all these do work together. They do work hand in hand. Sorry, my phone's been blowing up. Don't know what that means. Oh, the House passed a bill to avert the government shutdown. Good for them. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. He's lost sight of his abilities as he got further from his roots. Okay, so he's... So he's grown from a young, no-budget filmmaker to an adult, low-budget filmmaker. He's done a lot of things. So he goes from lacking confidence and blaming those around him and being generally immature and young to being an adult who accepts responsibility, no longer falls back on failure, and has confidence in himself and his abilities. That's a little jumbled. Which my fault. But that's not bad, I don't think. I think that's a pretty good way to go about it. So 3A, this part is to write as an antagonist in your story. The question is, which antagonist do we want to go with? Because let me go back to my notes actually. Who are our antagonists? We've got the killer. The producer is an antagonist because they want to... and the producer also is someone who wants the same thing. He or she... I was thinking of getting Ginger Lynn for this role, so maybe she. Either which way, the producer wants the finished film. They just aren't willing to... But they are also blaming Josh for the lack of a finished film, which, I mean, it is Josh's fault, but the producer is forcing change by suing, or potentially suing, Josh. I suppose the boyfriend could serve a similar role. Let's see. The actress, who's Tia, is antagonistic. Of course, she'll die. Let's see. So we have... So which antagonist... I feel like the killer we have a pretty firm grasp, because the killer is, at the end of the day, probably the simplest character. Because it's just, I'm going to kill so that this production stays on track. Which, if you try to break it down too much, falls apart. It's kind of a simplistic character in general. But I guess we could still do I'm just gonna make a note for myself. My attitude towards sex. Well, it's a twink gay bartender. Twink gay bartender. Ooh, that's a good point, Mike. Thank you for that. Let's all right. So my attitude towards sex. Is I mean, I don't even know what. Yes, please. Is that it's. You know what? Let's actually, it's a distraction. Let's go a little weird with it. 3B, my relationship to God is one of pain and misery from my childhood. I'm going to go with a bit of a stereotype here, which I think is fair for a horror movie to do that. I feel lost when Josh Wakefield can't get what he wants. 3D. Oh, this one's easy. Before I die, I am determined to save Twink of the Damned and make Josh Wakefield more famous. We could even go with we could get an extra kill out of the way if we wanted to by having someone talk shit about Josh at the bar and then get killed. Kind of like in Scream 5? Scream 5 with the asshole who gets killed outside the bar. I am appalled by those who can't see the genius. Josh Wakefield's work. One second, I have a kiddo problem. Kyle Gallner. Yeah, there we go. Okay, sorry. Kiddo had an accident. I wouldn't... bigoted... Well, I don't know. Maybe. The problem with a protester is I feel like there's... We don't want to... We have to bear in mind the level of filmmaker that this is and the fact that he is not that big of a deal. I think that's really important, is to bear in mind that he is just like a David Dakota, where he is not someone who is widely recognized, but he has a couple fans, and one of them happens to be a psychotic killer. I think there's something, I don't know, not tragic in that, but it's nice to have a filmmaker character who's not like super famous or even famous at all. But yeah, that's true. The bigot could be around the work a lot. That's a good point. And that gives us a death that the audience can enjoy. It's been far too long since I saw a new Josh Wakefield movie. And that's another thing, like it's been, if we think about it, this character, the big difference between him and me is he is consistently putting out no budget work. And this is his first budgeted movie has tripped him up. And so it's been months and months and months since he finished anything. And it's the first time in years that he's gone months without finishing. So like, I would say maybe his movies tend to take 3 months, let's say, to write, shoot, edit, and put out. Which again is the polar opposite to me, someone who takes fucking forever to put anything out, but is more in line with like a David Dakota type. Okay, and that is the end of day 5. So we're on to day 6. Backstory. All of our characters' traits, their histories, everything that led them to this moment where the story begins are in service to the theme. That's an important one to bear in mind. Everything's in service to the theme. Let's see. The world of our story is not limited to the space between page 1 and the end. The world involves the backstory as well. A thoroughly imagined backstory is crucial to informing the events of our screenplay. The challenge of writing a screenplay is in distilling our ideas to their nature so that we can convey an entire world in as few words as possible. The more thoroughly we understand our characters' backstories, the more layered and nuanced our scenes are going to be. Once we have developed a full relationship to the backstory, we can begin to choose where to place our focus. Backstory is like, oh, there we go. That's perfect too. I don't think this is synced with my Kindle because I'm pretty sure I highlighted this. Backstory is like insurance. You may not always need it, but when you're in trouble, you'll be glad that you have it. That's something great to remember, actually. That's wonderful. Anyway, writing exercises. There's 2 of them. As your protagonist, write for 5 minutes, beginning with one thing you still need to know about me is, write as if your hero was telling you a secret about themselves. Surprise yourself, write the forbidden. Okay, and then second one is going to be, now do this for 4 other characters in your story. Okay, so this will be a tough one. What is this, day 5? Day 6. Okay. That's definitely a big part of it. That's definitely a huge part of it. Yeah, pause. One thing you still need to know about me is... Okay, this is good. This is a tough one. This is where you can kind of see how these are daily tasks and not hourly or whatever. How it's not really meant for a speed run. Which we're still going to do. God damn it. Still going to speed run this, but you can kind of see, based on this prompt, how this might be something that takes you a good bit of time, because that's a tough one. And again, it's one of those where it would be easier in normal circumstances when you're not streaming this. Right if your hero was as if your hero was telling a secret about themselves, telling you a secret. Well, what thematically is a secret? Something. Oh, this is tough. He is. Because like my initial response to this is, one thing you still need to know about me is that I hate my own work, but I don't know how big of a secret that is. I also don't know that it's very surprising or forbidden, for that matter. And I feel like saying that, like, let's see, what's a secret of mine? I don't really have many secrets. So I can't even really draw from my own self. Like I've been able to. Yeah, right. Exactly. I hate my own work. Yeah, you and every other fucking asshole. This is tough. This is a tough one. One thing you still need to know about me is... I don't even think there's anything that, like, will prompt me here. Yeah, this is a really short day as far as the actual writing from Alan. Let's see, what's a secret? Do I have... Okay, come on, I have to have some secrets. Man. I don't know. I'm self-serving. There is that. Ooh, okay. If I'm self-serving, is I see those around me for what they can do for me rather than what I can do for them. Everything I do and every relationship I foster is in service of my own end goals. That's not entirely accurate to me, but I feel like that's a good kind of simplistic way of putting across one of my central character flaws. Ooh. That's interesting. What stopped you from finishing past work? What stopped me from finishing past work? I'm going to make this a notes thing. Okay, let's see. Fear of failure is one thing. That's definitely a big issue that I have. Lack of funds. Resulting in an easy acceptance of failure. So it's a fear of something that I also rely on. For comfort. Yeah, I do have that problem where I want things not necessarily to be not necessarily to be perfect, but to be how I envision them. Yeah, I would say that that's about accurate. Yeah, buddy. Who do I want to... One second. I have a child. Yes, bud.
What did Santa say?
Oh, that's just a GIF that someone put in a chat.
Well,
What's up, bud?
I really want you to have, Daddy,
Yeah.
hold it for me, please.
Oh.
Oh, it can be right there.
Oh, you dropped the controller. Okay.
That's
What do you need? What's wrong? What? You're not saying words, buddy. You can't have licorice, no.
why.
Because you've had bad poops.
It wasn't holding.
Okay, but buddy, if you're constipated, you can't have a bunch of sugar. I'll tell you what, is that all you came in here for? Is that what you came in here for?
I only came here for to say I really want someone to help me get
Okay.
another box.
And I will help you in 15 minutes. I wanted to do this for an hour, and I have 15 more minutes of that.
Okay.
So how about you take the controller and you go try. And then in 15 minutes I'll come and I'll help you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, take the controller.
Okay. Well, I mostly came here. I mostly wanted to come in here to say to you, I want my little fudge stripes.
You want your little fudge stripes?
That everything I really wanted to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, fudge stripes. All those little cookies.
Oh, they're cookies?
Yeah, they're like this big, but a little.
Okay, well,
So you what I talking about?
one second. I'll be right back.
They're all very yummy, right?
Okay. Don't tell his mom that I gave him cookies. All right. So, we need to do the same prompt for 4 other characters. So, we'll do it for the killer. The boyfriend. Let's see, the producer. Who could be a friend on production that just works as like another friend? Maybe the cinematographer? No, because he would shoot his own work. Oh, that's tough. Well, we can start with the killer. One thing you still need to know about me is... What is a secret that the killer has? This is... Again, there's a part of me that is very pragmatic, that doesn't love doing this. But I'm going to go through every prompt in this fucking book. One thing you still need to know about me is that I don't enjoy sex. Yeah? Everyone around me to be needlessly oh, that's a good point. Childhood friend. Oh no, my wife is in the chat. Ah. Well, shoot, if you tell me that you texted me, now I gotta... 5:15 at the latest. There we go. Brain. Fuck, we have 10 minutes. Okay. So we're going to get through day 6 and that's it. Because I don't want to go over an hour with this. With this speed run of writing things. What did I say about sex with the killer? Yeah, it's a distraction. To be needlessly engrossed in sexual conduct. That's fine. The boyfriend, one thing you still need to know about me is that I'm doing movies for Josh, not for myself. The producer, that I once killed a cat. I feel like the producer should just be like kind of a scumbag. Especially if it's Ginger Lynn. If it's Ginger Lynn, she needs to be extra scummy. Which is unfair to like the people who have ever given me money. I've only received money from great people, but I kind of want the producer to just be a total scumfuck. And then finally, the childhood friend. And just to take things a little bit more seriously for a moment, also, I really only invest in gay movies because of the return on investment. I could give a shit about the people themselves. One thing you seem to know about me is, let's see. Okay, this is a problem because we haven't explored a childhood friend yet. We just made this up. So, one thing you still need to know about me. Oh, man. I don't know what to put here. Okay, I think I'm going to change it from a childhood friend, actually. That's what I'll do. Change it to the actress. I never actually attended any acting school like I tell people I do. I did. I think that's a good one. Yeah. If it's just like this charlatan actress. Yeah, because the actress is someone who I want to be kind of a scummy piece of shit as well. Which is completely different from the actual person playing her. But I think that Tia will enjoy playing someone who's kind of a piece of shit. Also once drunkenly ate what I'm pretty sure was cat. I don't know, I just have a thing about cats right now. Okay, that's 4 other characters. Not the best part of the speedrun, I'm going to say. What does day 7 have anyway? I don't remember. It's got a lot. It's got a lot. Fill in the blanks. As protagonist, write for 5 minutes, beginning with the answer to my problem I've been avoiding. Ooh, maybe could we do this in 4 minutes? Let's try it. Let's try to finish the speed run with a very quick. All right, fill in the blanks. 1A, my protagonist wants blank because it will mean blank. Success, well, wants to finish the movie because it will mean success. 1B, my protagonist needs blank in order to have blank. Needs, okay, what did we talk about previously? Same thing for production to continue, go smoothly and finish. Lacks confidence in himself, needs confidence in order to have success. We'll dig into this chapter a little bit more at the beginning of the next stream. As your protagonist, write for 5 minutes, beginning with the answer to my problem I've been avoiding is... The answer to my problem I've been avoiding is... Oh, come on. Well, let's fill this in real quick. If I could do one thing differently from my past, it would be not spending money in a willy-nilly fashion. There's a better way of putting that, but you get the idea. Is there another one? Yes, there is. There's more. I'll get back to 2A. To C, I have unrealistic expectations of myself and my crew. 2D, I refuse to believe that I refuse to believe that I am. I don't know how to put this, so I'm going to put it kind of dumb. I refuse to believe that I am in love with failure. To eat. The last time I cried was when I looked at the initial edit ooh, you know what? I'll take this from real life. Was when I finished the last day of Twink of the Damned. I don't think I cried, but I definitely felt incredibly depressed on that last day. Person who understands me best is my boyfriend, who we should probably name at some point. Okay, we've hit an hour, but I think I can just squeeze out one last bit. Let's see. The answer to my problem I've been avoiding is, well, let's try that, is to accept my current situation for what it is and push on any way I can. That's fucking, let me get you on screen here. That is fucking great. That is a fantastic way of putting it. Thank you. The answer to my problem I've been avoiding is to accept my current situation for what it is and push on any way I can, rather than getting stuck in the goop of failure. You got the failure mindset and accept the flaws in the production for what they are. All right, that's day 7. We did it. We speed ran through the first 7, well, not speed ran, but through a part, through, where did we start, Dave? What is today? Today's the 3rd day. We did days 1, 2, and 3. So we did 4, 5, 6, and 7. We did 4 days of prompts. And they're not perfect, but they are something. And that's exactly what we want, is we want to write down something. We want to get something onto the page. We speed walked. There we go. We speed walked. All right, that's perfect, because I wanted to get through that first week really badly. I really just want to get to day 29. That's my big goal, because then we can actually start writing, which is where I'm more comfortable. This part I'm not very comfortable with at all, in case you can't tell. So that's going to be it for today's stream. We streamed for about an hour, and we got through a significant amount of work. And yeah, The boring part is almost over, kind of. Oh God, we still have so many days. Like, wait, let's go to our table of contents. So we got through character arc. Day 8 is structure. I haven't read into week 2 yet, so I'm excited. I love structure, so that one I'm excited about. Subtext, surrender, balancing your brain and the ticking clock, transformation, make it cinematic, and we are uniquely qualified to tell our story. And then we get into the outline. I'm really excited for story structure and outline, actually. This might, I don't know for a fact because I haven't read these chapters ahead, but I love structure and I enjoy outlining. So maybe next episode, next stream is where things get really fun. Could the time jump be due to the first killing? I don't think so. I think that the time jump is... Okay, kiddo needs my help. Let's see here. It could look like an accident. Possibly the production was shut down for an investigation. See, the only problem is that takes the power out of Josh's hands and puts it in the killer's. And I feel like that's maybe a mistake. But let's talk about this next time, since I have to go play Astrobot with my child. And we will get back to this. Thank you guys for joining me. I recognize that this is not my most popular content, and this is not what a lot of people subscribe to the channel for. But it's important to me to get through this. So that is why we are doing it. But until next time, guys, go make a movie.
It's gonna take me some time to give you all that is mine. I'm looking ultra fine from your view from behind. It's gonna take me some time to give you all that is mine. I'm looking ultra fine from your view from behind. Hard as my bones, working play out.